Hello everybody, good afternoon, welcome along to pre-match build-up here on the Rangers Rabble Podcast. My name's Martin, I am your host and my co-host for this. I mean, I don't know if massive is underplaying it a wee bit, but for this massive Premier Sports Cup semi-final, Rangers versus Celtic, good versus evil, David versus David, because I don't really think there is a Goliath in this. But however, yes, absolutely huge, massive game. And joining me today is my co-host, Kenny. Kenny, how are you?
The battle fever's on, as you can probably tell. I've never been excited more than I used to get my Sambas and my Stone Island jacket looked out and take photos and send it to my mates what they were wearing before we went to the football when I was a wee boy. The prospect of beating Martin O'Neill is probably more important to me than anything else because of the stuff that he'd done in the past. And listen, I'm not being bitter with that. The stuff that he'd done was ridiculous. So I'm optimistically hopeful, which is quite a myth. And I'm raring to go. I'm raring to go, man, because if you can nullify them for a long period of time, Martin, you know what's going to happen. Because listen, they fans they're not going to forget how much trouble they were in over the last good few months. If we even score first, you'll see the shift. And battle fever's on, mate. Battle fever's on.
Are you genuinely optimistic about the day, or are you pessimistic, or are you kind of somewhere in the middle? I've been seeing a lot of build up to this game, Kenny, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on one hand, there doesn't really seem to be that many who are either totally optimistic or totally pessimistic. Everything that I've seen about the build up to this game has been, I've got absolutely no idea what's going to happen.
I think because the two is our mince and we're trying to find our feet again, that there is an optimism. And that's why, because you just don't know what's going to happen. I think that's why I'm so excited, because I genuinely don't know what's going to happen, who's going to turn up first, who's going to hold their positivity longest, who's going to attack more, it's an old firm where a lot of us are anticipating a win, both sides of the old firm. If you speak to Martin O'Neill, obviously, the Weasel will tell you that we're no Martin, we don't matter, and we're no a challenge, and all this 1990s psychological nonsense that he's forgot that Grandad commentaries changed. And I'm optimistic because I don't know, probably. So we've got a chance, haven't we? 50-50 is a chance, isn't it?
Well, of course it is. Listen, 10% is a chance. So you never ever know. I'm keeping my eye peeled for Danny Rohls pre-match thoughts. As soon as we get them, I will bring them to you for everybody watching. Garland, that's some comment, by the way. That is some comment. Right, Kenny, the starting lineup for today, before we get into the game and what could possibly happen in it and how we expect the game to go, etc., etc. As you can see, I don't know. See, I don't know if this mirrors when it goes on YouTube. I really should know, right? But to me, it's to my left on my screen, but to my right, whatever. You can see the starting lineup: Butland, Giga, Suter, Cornelius, Tavernier, Diamande, Raskin, Magoma, Asgard, Shermite, and Danilo. So he's made some changes.
Yep.
Has he made one change for Hibs? I think I'm trying to rack my brains here. Just Asgard, I think. Diamande as well, obviously, for Barron. So he's made a couple of changes. One of them probably enforced with Barron obviously being suspended for the game, Kenny. Is he sticking with this sort of 3-5-2, 3-4-3 formation?
I'm glad you said that. I'll tell you that now. I nearly had the abacus out. The Diamande thing, if the Diamande turns up that always plays in an old firm game, then you're getting a bit of creativity in there, because he has in the past obviously caused problems. It's only since the managers have been all over the place that he's been all over the place, which is maybe some players take a lot longer to come back into their game than others when all that madness unfolds. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Danny is the one that watches him in training. So for him to make the call, is it because of old firm experience, which I just said? Possibly. Mm-hmm. I like the two up front because they're going to go for it. And I think they know that they can get to them. Let's not be kidded. All the Rangers fans watching this and all the other side watching this, I'll testify to Carter Vickers as a phenomenal defender, and it's a massive, massive loss for them. So if we can get behind them, I think there's a chance. But we proved against Hibs that we can actually lock the door as well. It might be biting your nails off to the Stubbs scenario, but we'll see. I do like the Diamandi thing. Hopefully he pays him back. I hope he pays him back. We doing that.
Yeah, the issue, the worry for me, and I did say this, and I'm going to say it again, Kenny, and it's probably going to come back and bite me right on the arse. I think that the Hibs game will be tougher than this game today. But now that we've got to this game, now that my mind's starting to change, obviously, because we're just about to get into the game, as Kenny's camera flashes back to 1992 when the World Wide Web was first invented or whatever, or whenever it was. But yeah, that was my biggest fear, was our chance creation, Kenny, was pretty poor against Hibs, if that's fair. And I'm looking at the team and I'm thinking, I think Dio probably gives you a little bit more creativity than what Barron does. Asgard obviously comes in and obviously gives you that little bit more creativity. But we haven't seen massive amounts from Asgard. We've seen one or two performances where you go, yep, there's something in there. That phenomenal goal that he scored. Creativity, I worry today,
I'm disappointed in Gassama, I'm honest. I can't wait till he clicks back into gear, because under Danny Rohls, he was meant to be his best days, wasn't it?
But he has been one of the only players that's been creative for us this season so far, Kenny.
Yeah, and he's also done it in patches. I think that's fair. I think it's fair to say that. I can't wait to get the potential back on when we bomb the wings and see the team that has, how do I put that? The team that keeps the pressure on the longest and the most consistent is the team that wins. So I'm hoping we end up doing that. There's a potential for Asgard to show us something here. I know the jury's out on him, right? And I get that he's running back and stuff, but by God, that boy's got creativity in him. And I'm hoping he's a two-seasoner, one of those ones that takes a wee bit of time to catch up to the Scottish game and stuff. What a game it would be to show people a goal that he scored, obviously, the other week there. That would be phenomenal. But again, I'm worried about the back, mate. I'm worried about Suter slowing it down too many times before you release the pass, which gives them time to mark wherever the pass is going, because he showed them where it's going, because he's already touched it 4 or 5 times. When we are very, very fast at the back, one touch, look, move, pass, when we do that from the back forward, we cause problems, mate. We do. But see, against Hibernian, honest to God, anybody that's watched it 2 or 3 times, look how slow the back starts to nonchalantly pass it between themselves and then pass. Raskin would run down to wall, Soapy would pass it to him, he'd pass it back. You're just asking for them to come towards you and start to do their game. If we do that, we're going to be in a bit of trouble. If we pass fast for the back and get to them quickly, there's no reason we can't beat this Celtic team. We know that. Come on, we know that.
Yeah, but that is the question, actually, is what Celtic team are we up against? We'll come back to Rangers in a wee second, and
yep.
I want to play a wee clip for Stephen Davis on Premier Sports in a second as well. But the Celtic team today, Kenny, right now, this does not feel, and again, this could come back to bite me on the arse, this does not feel like a Celtic team that we've played in the past, right? No. So, Schmeichel in goal, they've got a back 4 of Ralston, Trusty, Scales and Sriracha. And then, what's it, a midfield 3 of McGregor, Engels and Negrin. And then a front 3 of Maeda, Tunekete and Kenny. Now that, and again, I'm really, I don't want to be clipped up on Paddy Power or whatever, but that Celtic team does not strike fear into me, Kenny.
Right, okay, which is right. Now, put this one in a biscuit tin. If we do cause problems when we go up 1-0 and we are actually controlling the game, I don't think they've got the squad size. I'm not saying yours is big, right? I do not think they've got the squad size for a plan B. That's when you ask Martin O'Neill what he's got in his locker. Now, I think the most successful spell that Maloney had was, if I'm right, the comments can tell me, was Belgium under Martinez. I think in between and above and beyond, maybe Wigan his first season. Apart from that, not really been going well for him. I mean, he left the Belgian job to take the Berlin job and was papped out in 4 months. I'm not sure if that's because he's more of a Beale. He's a great coach, maybe not as great a manager. But I don't see where you change the formation to make a very bad dent in Rangers if Rangers are coming at you. And see, to be fair, we've got the very same problem, mate. That's what I'm saying. So I'm hoping whatever team goes at it first, you know what I mean, we can deal with what they give us. If we can deal with what they give us with that lineup you just told us, do you know the subs, Martin? No? Do you know what
the subs are Sinasalo, Balakwisha, Yang, Osmond, McGowan, Hatate,
Donny.
Murray. Donny, aye. McGowan, Hatate, Murray, Forrest, and Tierney. I suppose the only real surprise for me, and again, I'll be brutally honest, I don't watch Celtic. The only time I see Celtic is when we play them because my boys moved out. So they never have to be on my telly anymore. Hatate missing out for me, I think, is a strange one. Kenny,
Yeah,
I've always said it, as much as it pains me. I think he's a cracking midfielder. I think he's a really, really good midfielder. I think he can control a game. He can come up with some bits of magic. And for Hatate to miss out and Engels to be in there gives me more confidence getting into the game. They're playing a young boy Kenny up front, which would tell me that it's going to be Maeda versus Tav, and that takes it back to what you were saying about the defence and us playing this free at the back sort of system with Tav pushed up further. That worries me slightly. That worries me a little bit because that then gives Tav has to have more ground then to cover. But I don't know if then having the free, if it's Giga on the right side of the free playing as more of a wide centre back helps to cover that, Kenny, because I'm not very technically tactical minded. But the pace of Maeda in behind worries me.
So you've nailed it. So your number 6 and then Giga will also come across to that. It didn't go very successfully against the Burnley in the last half hour or so because they were piling down the gaps to the back three and then he moved
it.
See your Kenny guy, he was always going to have a bounce off him. Am I right in saying he's an Irish boy, right?
I've no idea.
John Joe Kenny's he's always going to have a bounce with Martin O'Neill because it'll be kind of legend stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's the same way if a legend come back to the club and you had a player who had watched what he'd done in his career and maybe watched him being manager of Celtic in the 90s and grew up watching that kind of stuff, and then he walks in and manages you because he wasn't doing anything until O'Neill. You know what I mean? He's not played like that for God knows a long time. I don't think a Celtic jersey. So I'm hoping we can stop that. But you've got every right to worry about that, by the way, because that's the system that Danny Rohls trying to collectively play is the inverted wing backs and go up and leave the three and have Magoma pushing high, Cornelius covering and all this, and the other side Tavernier with Giga covering. You've got every right, because if you get it wrong...
No, sorry, Ken, I was going to say, but if you're going to do that, then you need one of your two central midfielders to fall back in. Because if you've got, if we're going to have Magoma going forward and Tav going forward, and you're going to have Cornelius kind of coming out to cover the left and Giga going out to cover the right, you need one of your central midfielders to dip back in beside Suter.
Yeah, 100%. And there you're saying you're not technically minded, eh?
I'm not.
You've just slipped. No, see, to be fair with you, you're absolutely right, man. See if you play it right and you do it right, how amazing is it to watch it? It's great to watch it, isn't it? But if you get it wrong once, man, you look as if there's like a road
part in the Red Sea.
Aye, man, it's brutal to watch, and then when you get it right, it's fantastic to watch. So we can't have it both ways until we learn. That's why I think Cameron will be seen at some point. I'm hoping Diamande turns up like the player of last season, because him and Raskin were fantastic, man. Honestly, see that boy's got so much potential. It's frightening, but I think you've got to remember about the amount of stuff that's went wrong at Rangers with managers and formations and tactical awareness and filling your head full of vegan sausage rolls and you know what I mean? There's just so much crazy stuff happened that some players probably will be a bit drunk with it, and it might take a wee bit of time. And probably Danny Rohls, if anything, by his interviews, he's quite a nice guy to listen to. He's quite, he doesn't sound as if he's waffling. Remember, Clement just kept saying the same thing, but in a different way. And we were all like, Jesus, he doesn't seem to have that. He seems to have that kind of, obviously, the German thing about him where he's always thinking first before his mouth opens. So if he can do that to the dressing room, then fingers crossed, the longer he's in it, you start to see the players maybe relax a lot more.
Hopefully. Hopefully. Right, let's hear for Stephen Davis. This is taken just for the copyright junkies out there on YouTube. This is taken from Twitter. So you can't demonetize us for it. But let's hear for Stephen Davis ahead of the game.
But Stephen, let's talk about Rangers. Danny Rohls, he's been in the door for 12 days now. What have you made of how things have unfolded since he took charge?
I think he'd be happy with the reaction from the players in terms of what they've given him so far. Obviously a difficult European game, then off the back of that getting the result at Ibrox and then to go to Hibs the other night, which is a difficult place to go at the best of times, and come away with a 1-0 win, a clean sheet, which they haven't managed in a long time away from home. So I think he'd be really buying into the positives that they've got in the last couple of games and trying to build on that.
Now, there's been speculation linking yourself with a potential coaching role under him. He's come out and said he thinks he would like to add a former Rangers player or some sort of Rangers influence to his coaching team. What can you tell us? Have you spoken to him? Have you had contact?
From my point of view, it's all been rumours and speculation. I've not heard anything. Obviously, had a lot of messages off friends and different people connected to the club asking me the same question, but there's been no conversation. So unless you know any different,
we'll get it out of you before the end of this show.
Yeah, Neil Lennon standing next to him going, I'll take the job. No, he's really not. The reason I wanted to play that, Kenny, was just quickly to divert slightly from the game for 2 seconds. What I like about Danny Rohls, or however you want to pronounce it, is that he's clearly done his homework before coming into the football club. He's done his homework and he's went, right, this is what the fans want. This is what the fans need. This is what the club wants, and this is what the club needs. And he's kind of tried to mar the two of them together, because sometimes a club's focus isn't always exactly what the fans' focus is. And I think we've seen that with Russell Martin. And he even said before the game, I think he said it yesterday, he said, look, I know what this is all about. He said, I know what this means to the fans. This isn't just another game. And he's also went out and said, I want to bring in a former Rangers player or somebody who is associated with a football club, who knows the situation and who knows a lot more than me. So he's not a stupid guy, Danny Rohls, but he also gets it, Kenny. He gets what it takes and what it means to be a manager of a massive football club, which is obviously, he's been at Bayern, he's been at Leipzig, he's been with the German national team. He's not a stupid guy. I don't know if he 100% actually needs a coach who's necessarily got that history with Rangers, but it certainly can't hurt to get it. And I think Stevie Davis would be that guy. I think that would be a perfect addition to his coaching team.
To back up what you say, definitely done your homework. So I read the same thing where he was speaking about it, and what he said as well was, it's all very well having a named player coming in, but he has to be able to put across the content of the message I'm trying to deliver in the right manner that I am as well, so that it becomes all one message, or it's pointless. Would Russell Martin ever say a sentence like that? And I know we keep getting back to that, but we can only go back to the manager we had previously, can't we? We can't just keep naming other managers. But the players were maybe falling apart because the message wasn't as clear as that, what you just said there. And I think he has. I think he does get it. There's nothing wrong with having a German at the helm, because they don't rattle very well, do they? They don't seem to shake that well with pressure. They kind of just go and what. And these size of clubs as well, you will learn how to speak to players. You will watch the best of Hansi Flick's going, look at the crazy situation here with things on his back, and he's just nullifying it with vocabulary and gestures, hand movements, all these positive things that they all learn about with the psychology side of it. And, it's nice to see that. We've all said it. Every single person in the pod that I've been privy to, watched, or maybe listened to on the Rabble, everybody says the same. He's very, very easy to listen to, and he seems to make it simple. And he does seem to get that, listen, I need to win this straight away. So I think you're bang on, mate. I can't argue with anything he said there at all.
No, but also what the Germans do, and it's shown by the way that the league's structured, they're all about the fans, the Germans. They're all about their supporters. If you look, definitely. Is it 51% ownership in Germany? Or whatever it is, it's like 6 pence to get into a game compared to other leagues around the world. You get free public transport to games if you've got a ticket. It's German football, and the way that the German coaches work, it's all surrounded. It's all about fans, because they understand how important it is, and to have fans on side, to have fans in your stadium, blah 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 blah, all that sort of stuff.
Hey, listen, the away the European thing as well, Martin, to back you up with that. I mean, if you're like the old days, if you're a season ticket holder or you've been going to so many games just as fans, then you get allocated the European fixtures first and the tickets come through the post and yada, yada, yada. So, it's maybe something to look at for our league. We're absolutely a joke with that kind of side of it, aren't we?
Oh, listen, we could be here all day talking about that. We could be absolutely here all day talking about that. Just going back to this Rangers team then, Magoma, Kenny, I think he'll be massive for us today. Absolutely, man. I thought in that first half against Hibs, we're talking about, where's the creative outlet coming from for this Rangers team? Well, it was mostly him. Let's be honest. It was mostly Magoma getting up and down that touchline, Kenny. I thought he was outstanding. He's a young boy, so he's going to get stupid yellow cards when he shouldn't, and he'll learn over time about that, about keeping his head. Mm-hmm. But for a young boy at 18 years of age to come in on loan to a club like Rangers in the position that we're in, with all the crap that's happened at the start of the season, I think he's been all-round excellent. He is going to have dips, Kenny, in form because, like I say, he's a young guy. And as Test is saying, he's only 5 foot tall, but he could be massive for us today, I think.
Fast becoming 2 kids I've got, and one of the boys plays up in striker at midfield, but the other wee one's a left back going on to a left winger. Straight away, that's him. He's enthralled with Magoma. He just thinks that the guy's attitude is ridiculous. The higher he play him up the pitch, the problems he causes. I mean, as you see, he's a young boy and he's come into a club that he really doesn't really know much about the history and the kind of pressure that you get every single game, but he seems to be letting it bounce off his back. I think Tammy Tuchel does the same, didn't he? So did Southgate. They played a lot of the really young, talented boys into the England squad because they let that type of pressure bounce off them because of their age, that just bounces off them. So I'm pleasantly surprised because all the Rangers fans had went, geez Louise, man, what are we going to do with this left-back position, man? You've left us with nobody but a lonely 19-year-old or whatever age is. So we all bottled it. We all went, oh no. Now we're going, wait a minute, maybe that position's not exactly as bad with Cornelius kind of backing it and Magoma being able to move. So I am quite surprised at the wee guy. I'm quite happy. Do you know what? I'm pleasantly surprised because I was absolutely bottling it about that position, Martin. I was really thinking, oh God, what have you left us with?
We're in trouble. We're in trouble. All we've really got is him. I know Cornelius can play out there, but I think Cornelius is our best central defender. So you're taking your best central defender out to go and cover left back, which is a position that we should never ever be in. No. In terms of the midfield, Raskin and Diamande, Ken, a lot's been spoke about Raskin in the lead up to this and about how he's not quite in the form that he should be or that he can be or anywhere close to that. That's a worry, but big players turn up in big games. Raskin is our big player, and I've said it before, and I will keep repeating it until the day that he's no longer at the football club. For me, he's the best player in Scotland. He's certainly the best midfielder in Scotland for me. He's certainly the best player at our football club when he's on form, but we need him to be on form today, and we need a big performance for his midfield partner Diamande as well.
Aye. Also, I believe that if there's ever a game to give yourself a bit of boost and a bit of confidence, it's an Old Firm. And Nico knows what it means to play there. Dio historically has been pretty decent in Old Firm, so you're right, Martin. He's a terrific player. He doesn't just get rubbish, you know what I mean? I don't think he has been rubbish, and I don't think he's been as bad as what social media is saying he's been. Yeah, he hasn't been on top form. Yeah, he's been looking for the ball a bit too much. Yes, he's been giving the ball away more often than he normally does. Yes, I don't think his head's fully 100% in it. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying that, he's not with it or anything like that. But what I'm saying is he's not been the Raskin that we know he can be. But I don't think he's been anywhere near as bad as what he's been made out to be. Martin, I'd rather him have a little bit of a lull at this time of the season and be firing all cylinders at the business end. So, yeah, no, I mean, he's always going to have. Listen, you've just said about Magoma that you'll have up and downs, eh? So does everybody. So at the end of the day, this is one of the games you want to see where he starts getting writing about them. Maybe that allows Diamande a lot more space, and round we go. What we've got to do is make sure that we use the wings. I don't think we use the wings enough, especially if you've got two.
Well, we're not playing with wingers today, so that's going to be difficult.
That's what I'm saying, though. But just
Magoma and Tav.
they just hit them, just hit 1-2s overlaps. I mean, how many goals did Tavernier score when we won the league and in Europe and all that? He's known for overlapping and getting the ball whipped in. So maybe that's where we need to get back to. And as long as you've got somebody willing to stay back, to back up a break, Giga coming across and maybe your number 6 coming across or whatever, then he should be allowed to do that, making the 1-2s, and especially left and right. We miss it, mate. You know that yourself.
Is Tav still got the legs, Kenny, to bomb up and down?
I mean, he scored a few. He scored a couple of goals for coming up for the right back position. He's always been putting boys in the box. I think he still has, mate. I think he has. I think it's just if you're not getting covered, I don't think he's maybe got the legs to take it all the way back that fast. But see if somebody's covering him and give him enough time to get back, I don't see why it can't work. So we'll see.
Aye, we will. We absolutely will. Right, I'm going to get to some of these super chats that have come in. Our man over in Australia, Glasgow Rangers, you're the only team for me. No surrender is our cry as we cheer for victory. I tried to do that in a kind of song way there. Stephen, mate, I know he'll be buzzing. It'll be like, what is it, like 2 o'clock in the morning over in Australia or something? So he'll be buzzing for that. Stephen, thank you very much. I can't bring up another 2 of your super chats, Stephen, mate, and you know why, right? You absolutely know why, you little devil. But he's also got this one. Scoosh, Hamish, let's go. If Rangers win today, you will be seeing that Scoosh graphic quite a lot on the reaction. You absolutely will. But 4 super chats sent in by our man over in Australia, massive supporter of the channel, always phones in the phone in on a Monday morning. So, Stephen, mate, thank you very, very much. And our very own Andrew as well, with a super sticker that you can now see in the chat as well. Andrew, mate, thank you very, very much. And I'll bring this up for James Cameron, who's now been a member for 25 months, by the way. Battle Fever on. Let's get stuck into that lot today, which I'm going to bring up with another super chat in a minute, James, to bring up that very point. And the sniper is just singing Danny Rohls, because why not? Member for 33 months. Sniper, mate, thank you very, very much. And I want to bring it up with this, our very own Waterboot William, with the super chat. Thank you, William. And about them full throttle from the start. So going with James's comment, William's comment here, Kenny, was going to be my next point. How do we start the game? Is this a case of total and utter gegenpress for the start, straight up the pitch, get in about them, try and stop short goal kicks, try and press them for the front? Do we sit back and let them come on, try and hit them on the counter-attack? What's the best way to get at this Celtic team?
The best form of defence is attack, and historically Celtic teams don't like it when you press them right up the back and smell their aftershave. You've got to make sure that the players that like a pass and move, you've got to slam them first. And I'm not talking about aggressively taking them out of the game. I'm saying take the ball, but take them to, and make sure they know that this isn't going to be easy for you. You know, let them see that the freedom, they call them the kind of freedom players, that ones that like to float, McGregor and all that, and I'm glad Hatati's not there. That's what you need to do. You need to be very, very close to them all day. I like the fact that Rohl says progression, possession. You can only do that if out of possession, you are right up their back. So any ball that comes in, it sounds really stupid, but I say this to the 2013s, man, you've got the same amount of players in the park. Nothing changes. The only thing that changes is your attitude and how much you run off the ball. If you don't run off the ball simply as more as they're running off the ball or on the ball, you're never going to get them. So just stay tight when you're not in possession and make sure your movement's terrific when you've got the ball, so that you've got many options and you'll hurt them. So go for it. I agree with the boys. Go for the throttle, man. Just go for it.
Right, I wish I'd started this at 1 o'clock because there's literally so much more to talk about. But I will play the interview that I've got up now. Our manager, Danny Rohls, has spoken, because we do have the watch along starting shortly. So let's hear from the manager, and then we'll have a quick discussion, and then we'll let you get to the watch along.
Danny, an Old Firm semi-final. How excited are you in the squad for this one?
Yeah, big excitement. I'm looking forward to be part of such a game. I think after 2 wins, you come here with a lot of confidence. I think that helps massive. And then we want to go here, we want to show up, we want to make the next step into a final. It would be amazing.
How much is it about building on the last 2 performances and results?
Yeah, I think the last 2 games were the right steps in the right direction. We know to take something and to come in the final today would be a great next step. But of course, when I'm arrived, I want to change something. I want to go in the direction with the club, with my group together. And yeah, the last 6 days helps. And today, of course, you win such a game, it helps. Again, it's a booster.
3 changes to your side from Wednesday. Just talk us through the thinking behind those.
Yeah, I think the first one, Connor, suspended, was not available. Then Max didn't play so much in the past, but he did really well on Wednesday. It's about then load management and job sharing. And I must say, finally, it was a close decision in front. I think all my players from the winger position showed at the moment why they are so important for us. And then it's about job sharing. 2 players start and 2 players were waiting on the bench to make the impact.
And just lastly, what qualities are your side going to need to show today?
Yeah, I think at first we have to play such games with confidence. I think this is crucial. We have to be very aggressive. We need our teammates today. I think this is also part that we do it together. And finally, we have to enjoy such a game. Yeah, and if we bring this together, these 4 parts, then we will have a good game from our side.
Kenny loving a bit of Danny Rohls there. Absolutely loving a bit. By the way, can I just quickly say, I know he didn't say this right, and I know that obviously it's the German accent, but I could have swore twice he said truck driver, right?
Me too.
I could have swore he said, but he never. I know he never, but it sounded so much like truck driver. I mean, look, there's so much more we could go into, Kenny. I know you're going to be on the reaction with me and Alex as well, so we'll discuss all that then, but just quickly, this super chat in for Paul. Martin, we need to score first and see what happens. Danny Rohls, I mentioned about playing with confidence, something that a lot of these players haven't done, especially under Russell Martin. But in these games especially, taking the lead is so important.
No, you better believe it. But also, if you are playing much, much nicer football and it's 0-0, the Celtic fans, we know definitely will start to go in the back of their play. You know, they'll no see the Falkirk thing. They'll go, oh no, is this going back to the normal? So listen, just play better than them and the goal will come. I love that. I mean, me and you were sitting speaking about that with Danny, making it simplistic. Broke it into 4 parts. If we do the 4 parts, we do well. You tell a player that, do you know what I mean? It's going back to Brian Clough, is that right? He just says he was telling the players about where they should play. What's your job, mate? Defender. What's your job? But he says, get the ball, get up the park. That's it. Don't get it in the net. It's all simple stuff. I love that. 4 parts broke down. Love it.
Absolutely. And by the way, Alex isn't ill. He's having you all on because he's been messaging me the whole way through this. Alex is not a nice person. He is not a nice. I'm just letting you all know. He's not a nice person. All you guys on the watch along love him because he acts like a nice person. He is not a nice person. Charles is in there, member for 9 months. Thank you very much, Charles. Come on, troops. And Stephen Robertson again has gifted 5 Rangers Rabble Podcast memberships. So congratulations to those who got those 5 gifted memberships. You can now tune into the watch along, which starts in 5 minutes. Hightower will be taking you through the whole game. Please do, before you go away, everybody, please do like, share and subscribe. All of our shows will now be live only on YouTube. No more live on Twitter, no more live on Facebook. They will all be live only on YouTube. This is the only place to get your Rangers Rabble content. So please do like and share before you leave. And if you want access to just hundreds of extra shows, like hundreds and hundreds of extra shows, then do consider joining the Rabble Network. Now, links for that are in the description. So, Kenny, I don't like to do this, but very, very quickly, prediction.
Extra time win, Rangers.
Extra time win. Oh, I used to like you, Kenny. Danilo,
not going to be easy.
Danilo, 89th minute winner is what I'm going to say on here. I'm not going to tell you all what I said to Kenny before we started.
The reaction show. You're so transparent, it's unreal.
You're damn right. I want the rest of the night off. That's what I want. And he's done it again. He's done it again. Oh, another 5 memberships.
Wow.
Mate. Thank you so much, mate. Honestly, incredible. Thank you. Right, folks, go and enjoy the game. Go and join Hightower in a couple of minutes for the watch along. Kenny, thank you very, very much for joining me. I'll see you on the reaction, mate. Hopefully, we're happy.
Can I just say, I know you needed a translator for Waterroot, right? If we win, you're definitely going to need a translator for me.
I need one for you now. But there we go. Right, folks, thank you very, very much. Like, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. And we shall speak very, very soon.